upon my life. I can just like we want on that team who can, ooh, Lord, yeah. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wunimi gwanko biane mabanke se yankupana medeme ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He had done this in the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed. Oh, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, we want on that team who can, ooh, Lord, You've been so long. You are the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Tell me cause you are a mojo, Namanunga shall make your man. Tell me cause you are a mojo, Namanunga shall make your man. Indeed, Mr. Rock, and I do go from Biara. Mr. Rock, and I do go from Biara. On Nema Kucham. Nanimu anije Ninu nasina metina. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed. I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Let me hear you.
Tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle WHYTE at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 05.
Hello, welcome to ENCORE, the Facebook live platform on which we discuss all things marriage, sex, relationship, and what have you. Let me begin by saying a Merry Christmas to every one of you. We appreciate the fact that you've been with us right through the year, and we hope that it's been a blessing to you. Today, we bring you ENCORE from the theater, from the auditorium of the National Theater, where in a few hours' time, day 3 of our Festival of Play would open to the public. And for those of you who are not aware, every year we do a festival, Roverman Productions, we do a festival, and this year we are doing a festival of 6 plays. We've done 3 already, no, we've done 2 already, and this is day 3. And today is Terms of Divorce. We'll follow that up tomorrow with Sex Scandal, and then we'll go on to Special Delivery, and then we'll crown it all off with a crazy ride, and it's going to be a crazy day. They call me Uncle WHYTE, and I am the CEO of Roverman Productions. And but for the purposes of this platform, I just want you to know that I am in your corner. I am dedicated to helping you become your best self. Now, we'll take a short commercial break, and when we come back, I am going to drill a number of my members of my crew, members of my team. They've been sitting behind all kinds of machines, bringing you ENCORE, but I want to know whether they've been learning anything right through the period. And then after that, we'll take some comments from you. We'll look at some of the outstanding questions that we haven't answered over the last 3 weeks because of the nature of the program we did. Oh, and then when we finish, I'm going to bring you what I call marriage lessons in the Christmas story. We know Christmas, but did you know that Christmas, there are elements in the Christmas story that teaches us a lot about marriages? And then so we'll do that. And if there's time, we'll do what I call the Joseph test. The Joseph test. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and a supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, honey, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Hello, welcome back. We are grateful that you could stay with us. We don't take the fact that you stay with us every week for granted. So I have with me 2 gentlemen. I would introduce them myself, and then I'll tell you something about each of them. To my right, I have Kwamina. We call him Kwamina. Kwamina Boaje. I call him Boga because, well, that's an inside story. And then to my left is Ephraim Awuku. Let me talk about these 2 people. If you've enjoyed ENCORE, if you enjoy the quality of ENCORE, it is because of these 2 people. Kwamina gives us the kind of equipment that enables us to sustain the quality in terms of camera. And then he himself comes whenever he's available. But even when he's not here, he is always our consultant and the person we fall back on. Kwamina makes me look good on social media. So Kwamina, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate and Merry Christmas to you. And then Ephraim is a guy who directs the shows. And he does that at his own expense. He brings his own equipment for us to do that. And so if we won an award during the course of the year, right? We won an award, and it is because of his expertise. One of the, and he's a fun person to work with. So much fun, as most of the crew would.
I'm shy.
And the great thing is that we haven't just become colleagues, we become family. Family not just with them, but with their respective families as well. And with that, let me say hello to the family of Kwamina and to Tina and the baby. I know you are watching us. So I wanted them to join me because these are the heavyweights behind the scene. So let me start with you, Kwamina. Over the period of ENCORE, what lesson stands out for you the most, and what have you picked from this platform so far?
Well, this morning when I was having my bath, I hear you have ideas when you are bathing, especially when the shower goes on you.
Yeah, especially for those of you who don't take your bath every day.
Punch like one.
Area.
Punch like
So
one.
I was just looking back at ENCORE for the past year, and I had a story. The story was, most of the time today is more like a holiday. I'm not at work. So
That's right.
I run away from work and come and do
And
ENCORE
sleep in, and then dash back again.
Okay. And there's this colleague in my office. Some of the days that I'm not able to come because of meetings, like you said, I send the equipment.
Yeah.
So one day I wasn't able to come. I went for a meeting, but the meeting was very short. So by 1 hour, I was back in the office. When I got into the office, she was watching ENCORE, and I'd never known that she watches.
That she
ENCORE.
follows
She
ENCORE.
follows ENCORE. And when I'm also leaving the office, I don't tell her I'm going to ENCORE.
All right, okay.
So I said, "You watch ENCORE?" And she said, "Yes, every day, every Friday." And I said, "Do you know I work on ENCORE?" She said, "That's why you run away every Friday and tell you back." Mrs. Sandra Kunsin, good afternoon. No, but it's been an experience. It's been an experience when, not only when you talk, but the feedback that we get from our viewers and our listeners. Sometimes I'm so touched that people find time, spend data, sit, listen to you, and sometimes they even chip in bits of advice.
They do.
Yeah, and I'm so happy. I mean, I'm happy that people follow every week, and for every week, we get some following. And
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I'm so glad about that, even more than what you impact, because I know our reach is beyond what people just listen. Because I'm sure people also tell other people the good news that you always preach.
Okay, but I suspect that you've forgotten the question you started to answer. For you, what have you picked from this?
For me, one great thing I've picked, I've been married. I took my mother-in-law's daughter, and this year is like our 23rd year.
Wow.
Okay. So,
already?
Yes, 1995.
Wow.
Mayebi.
No, you've seen some.
Humility in marriage and sharing in marriage. Okay.
Humility and sharing.
Sharing, okay. You need to, look, it's the two of you. If you have kids, it's the two of you and the kids. But mostly it's the two of you. You need to tell her whatever it is. It makes it easy for communication each and every day.
Okay.
Because when you tell her something today, Monday when you want to make a statement, you can say, okay, dear, make a on Friday. You don't need to go back.
Okay.
And it makes it so easy to follow up with things in the house and with, Dana make on National Theatre, and she knows. You don't have to repeat.
Communication.
And it makes it, look.
And then transparency.
A lot.
Because when you say you were coming to National Theatre, if you had gone to
somewhere else,
then you couldn't have referred that.
And then what's it the man now called National Theatre? Then you want to backtrack and find out what did I say the last time?
What did I say the last time?
No, but it's been so those two things have kept me on the program, and I realized that look, at least when I get to hear feedback from other couples, I realized that I try maybe.
Well,
So and I try to improve each and every day.
well, we are happy.
Because we learn.
We're happy to have you on the platform.
Thank you.
Ephraim,
Yes, uncle.
you know you are one of my favorites on this platform.
I know.
You know, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Ephraim, what have you picked so far? What stands out for you the most, and what lessons have you picked?
Yeah, I think the ladies said it the last time the ladies came on the show.
Okay.
That was, I think, about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, okay. Good. I think it is the
No, the ladies were 3 weeks ago, and the men were 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so 3 weeks ago. I
Okay.
think, and Uncle Amla just said it for his years of experience. That's 23. Which, if I look at my, one day we'll get there. Because this by 4th, you're going to 5 years.
Okay.
Next time will be 5 years. And I think what I've picked the most is the communication, as he spoke about. And other ladies will say they understand their body language. Because I think communication has been a key thing, and that's what has sustained me in move, because I move out a lot as like Uncle Amna, telling her that I'm going to this place, and
you go exactly
and
there.
I go at the exact place. That's been, and funny enough, she has a lot of friends, so she always get feedback. Oh, and I saw your husband, so it has been that a confirmation to where I go. It has been one key thing is like the improvement of my communication. And I think it has saved me a whole lot of issues.
You're one of those people who cannot dodge, who cannot hide.
No. You can run, but I can hide. So I think communication stand out for me. Then secondly, I think your advice. Sometimes the viewers think that maybe we sit in the studio and we just laugh. But the notes that we pick, and sometimes especially the review meetings.
Yes.
The review meetings, which they are not preview to. That is ours ENCORE. Your ENCORE is Friday. Our own is on Wednesday. That is when, yeah. That is when the rough edges are fine trimmed and are done all those things. And it has been of great help. Very, very, very. I will not lie to you. It has been of great help. And this is why we always want to work for ENCORE. I think if you should even travel outside, we'll do remote working.
Well, both of you have been an incredible help to me and a blessing to me. And I am always, when I count my wealth, I count the fact that I have the two of you in my life and in what I do as part of it.
Thank you.
So thank you. And your message, Christmas message to our viewers.
Okay, let me start. I think, let me start before Uncle Amla says mine. I don't have anything to say. I think if you have missed the first 2 plays, you are doing yourself, especially the first one, because that one was 10 years ago.
On Happy Wives Confused.
Oh, 10 years ago. And 10 years after I came to watch again. So I beg, if you have your Christmas message, simple. Just come today. Because if you miss today, I don't know. Then the first, I beg you, come and watch Uncle do his own thing.
On a crazy ride.
Oh, seriously. Then also, the coming year will be a very fruitful year. And the Lord will shine his blessing on all of you.
Thank
and
you.
stay tuned to Uncle.
Thank you, Ephraim. And thank you, Tina, for taking good care of him. He's made a confession to me, so but we'll not
the third child on the
No, that's a bit too early. That's not in the Tina, don't mind him. Tina, don't mind him. That has not been discussed yet. That one will have to go and see the committee for the regional creation of regions and decide whether we
the ENCORE team will vote for you.
Okay, Governor, yours.
My Christmas message. Today is terms of divorce, right?
Yes, today is terms of divorce.
I was here when terms of divorce showed for the first time. I was doing photography. Uncle hasn't heard this before, but I cried in my seat when I was doing the photography.
Wow.
Because you see, for a couple who are having problems to come to another couple for advice, and that couple trouble
had bigger problems
than
they were crying over.
So we realized that what's happening there? Okay. So please come watch this evening's piece. It's beautiful. My New Year message: love to all the families, greater relationships in all marriages, and let's bond together. Look, there is no other lady out there better than your wife.
Yeah.
Pacho. So please hold on to what you have.
So you got it right the first time. Don't begin to look around. That's
The most painful thing is somebody will go and grab and make her a better person, and then you sit back and cry. So please, 23 years I've been in marriage, and it's been wonderful. So if you have it, so me, why?
All right. So please join me in saying thank you very much to Kwamina.
Thank you, Uncle.
Thank
you
you
for having me.
Afishapa, Ephraim. All right, now they would leave me, but they would, so you can go now. You can walk off. And then I am going to get the next team to come to join me. And I'm going to call people who will be shocked. These two are married 5 years and 23 years. I will need the perspective of those who are not married, but sometimes think that they are married. So Candace, join me. And the Queen, let the Queen also join me. Let the Queen join me. So, viewers, we having Elijah Canison. This is Elijah Canison. Elijah does everything. He helps with sound. He helps with the camera, but he's here more for the camera than anything. And then Abiziga is the one who makes all the men sane here, because she's the only lady there. That's why she calls herself the queen among us. So, Elijah, God bless you. I see the hard work you put in, and I appreciate you very much.
Just from you, you've taught us put in all that you can, have fun as you can, and work as hard as you can.
All right. The word when you were saying putting in, I was thinking of something else. I heard something very different, but that is fine. Today's a good day. Abizi, welcome. Well, this is Abiziga, our queen, the queen on ENCORE. Abizi.
ENCORE.
Over all this period, what have you picked from? What are your favorite stories? Because I'm sure you hear stories about. From some of your friends and then some of the messages that come. But so far, what has been your favorite story or experience on ENCORE?
ENCORE, I'll say experiences, because sometimes after watching ENCORE, then a few girlfriends in some chats on WhatsApp will be like, I don't really think he's talking to modern day youth about this right there. And then it becomes a whole conversation. And as we go on, we get to notice that things haven't changed. We are still human beings and all that. It doesn't matter the time or anything else. So it's the experiences with my girlfriends after ENCORE that is just priceless all the time.
All right. Jonathan?
Uncle, I would agree with Abisiga when she says we've not really changed. And when you tell the stories about what's pertained in your time and how it applied in your time, I think if some way, somehow, we of this current generation would adapt some of it, it would rather help us than to think, oh, we've changed from their time, so it doesn't, and that generates a whole lot of conversation. And you're like, but he's this old. He thinks, and I say, you don't know what he did when he was younger. And he has gone through certain phases, and now he's telling you probably this is where he's coming from. Either try and find a way to accept a bit of it, use it for yourself. If not, you to experience it some, and then you know that maybe you might not survive it to say it.
Well, I have learned that it is only a fool who learns only from his own experience. The reason why we have other people ahead of us is so we can learn from them. And that is why I'm generous with my experiences and insight. Listen, what have you picked from ENCORE? If you have to point to one thing that ENCORE has done for you or taught you, what would that be?
ENCORE. Okay, it's going to sound baby, but it's just something simple. You fish it out.
Okay.
That men are men and women are women. You can't force a man to be a woman.
Finally.
I would say I learned the hard way, but I learned the hard way.
Men are men, women are women. Neither side can change the other. I mean, that is a raw fact. And so we just have to major in learning how does this animal called man think and operate, and how does this beautiful creature called woman also think. And what kind of thing?
Oh, Uncle, a number of lessons, but I choose one that says it's better to be alone and develop yourself to fit where you think you are going or where you think you will be.
Okay.
Being alone and trying to grow yourself would help you because in the growth you realize that maybe you are wrong here, you are wrong there, you are wrong here, and then you get to correct it so that the next person walking into your life, you know how better to appreciate the person and then also move ahead with the person.
All right, Abizi, thank you very much for your dedication.
Thank you, Uncle.
Thank you, Uncle.
Elijah, thank you very much. So you can walk away now. The next batch of people will not believe that I'm going to call them, but I am. I've had the two married men with me earlier. Then I had a man and a woman who are not married. So now I'm going to have another set of married men. So Kwesi and Ike, please join me. Kwesi and Ike. Kwesi is the most savvy in technology among us. Because of him, we look so good on technology, on modern technology. And then Ike is for sound, and he's the one who works and tweaks the sound to make it look good every time. And then so here they are, and that is Kwesi. You remember Kwesi from 2 weeks ago when he exploded on ENCORE with his, how many notes? You had? About 10. And then Ike, this is Isaac Buama. We call him Buama made it, eh? Buama made it. That is his brand. Well, the two of you are welcome.
Thank you.
Kwesi, how long have you been married now?
7 years.
7. Ike?
4 months.
4 months. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. Did I? Ken, did you laugh? All right, Kwesi, over the period, what have you picked from ENCORE?
A lot, but two stand out.
Okay.
One, respect in communication.
Okay.
And two, the very strong one, respect women and you live longer.
Respect the woman in your life,
Yes.
and you will live longer. No, he didn't learn it the hard way. I mean, he hasn't yet gotten there. Ike?
Yeah, for me, I learned it the hard way.
Okay.
Because before, I used to think everything should go my way.
Okay.
Until I learned that when you're finally with a woman, it's actually not about you. It's about her.
Okay.
Yes, because like we all have learned this past weeks, women are different creations. So relating with them, you have to use maturity and humility.
Yeah.
You can't be proud and think you have it your way if you don't understand the woman you're with.
Yeah.
That's what ENCORE has helped.
Proud people don't really get married, and they don't stay. They don't stay married. Any other message you want to give our viewers?
Well, it's been a wonderful year for us at ENCORE, and we pray that you also enjoyed it as the messages that has come has enriched your life. We also want to entreat you to continue to tell people about this platform, invite them every Friday, and we hope that coming year there will be more giveaways, more exciting stuff on ENCORE. And as you see,
That would be.
we are coming from you from National Theatre, but expect us in other places aside our studio.
That's right.
And then on FOP, Festival of Play, Terms of Divorce Today, you can't miss it.
Well, I think Chrissy has said it all. If you really want to better your life, better your relationship with your partner, married or not, this is a free platform for you to share your ideas. Come and learn for free without paying a counselor.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it and be a better person.
Right. So thank you, Ike.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Chrissy. And now I'm going to have the final two. No, so you can walk away. It's a very informal thing, so I don't mind people walking up and down. I'm going to have the final two people from my team. So those, they know themselves. Those who haven't been here, please join me now. So I'm going to have Ken, and I'm going to have Coca. I'm going to have Coca. So this is Ken, Kenneth Nisaki.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a royal home, a royal house that we are still looking for. And then Kweku Asiedu, a.k.a. Coca, a.k.a. Socks. A.k.a. what?
Balenciaga.
No, that one I haven't heard.
You haven't heard all the AKAs, Uncle.
So I have, for each one of them, there is a particular name.
Yeah,
For
go.
each one of them, there is a particular name. So.
All right. So what name do you have for Ken?
I'm here.
Yeah. Oh,
Ken, no, Uncle, but that name, it can't go. It can't go. It can't go out.
It can go out?
Yes.
All right.
And we have that new branding, so.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Uncle.
Yeah.
Your take on ENCORE and what your experiences, some of the things you've learned, the feedback you've found from, heard from some of your closest friends.
ENCORE has been an amazing learning challenge for us, for a lot of things a lot of mindsets that we've had entering relationships or, being in past relationships and all of that, and the kind of things that we've learned, the things that have shaped us, and a lot of the things that we thought were cool, but after watching a few episodes, you realize that, this is either not the way to go, or there are a whole lot better ways to do these things, to do it. And even to people that I have shared links with, I have converted to become part of the ENCORE family. A lot of them have watched it, and they're like, they never knew something like this existed, and they watch it, and they can relate so well with the things that we learn, the things that we all watch, and then the things that we learn from. And they come back and they say that, well, this is good. Some of them have, I'm sure one of them said, I think Abis or so said that a lot of them actually don't think that you are speaking to the people now, because of a lot of things that we do, our lifestyles and all of that. But basically, a lot of them relate. And after all the arguments and all of that, they still pick it up. And as proverbially in Ghana, we say, you put it in your knee, and then you keep it so that one day you will get there, and then you realize that every lesson here has become useful in every area you find yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Coca.
I have learned a lot of communication.
Bring it closer to you.
Communication, that if you want to have peace with a woman, you need to have clean, honest, and then and a good communication. Be what you say, and then honor what you say.
Okay.
And I do a lot of this relationship talk shows, and you realize some of them, when you go, the things that we're being told about ENCORE, or the things we get to enjoy at ENCORE, somebody is just struggling for it. So sometimes all I do is, do you know of ENCORE? We have this episode that talks about this relationship. So I can just send you the link, and then you go there to go. And the last 3 episodes about the men and the women tells me that we need to have an equilibrium to be able to live. Appreciate the other person by listening, and also by affirming things, and also that will come you. And there is this thing you said before, that what you see in me is a true reflection of yourself. So if there is something that somebody keeps haunting you with, that you should find a way to help the person with, or else you will fight about it, and it can destroy the good thing the two of you want to share.
Ken, last word.
I think that it's generally been a good year. We're all alive, and we need to thank God for that. And 2019 promises to be greater. For those of us who are watching us, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. May the new year bring you better opportunities. May we grow in leaps and bounds in every aspect of our lives. May we build financially, spiritually, emotionally, most especially. That's why ENCORE is here. And may we pick the lessons that we need to have better relationships cut across. Amen.
Okay, Coca. Final message in 2 sentences.
Merry Christmas.
That all those who came to Ghana to have fun and have not seen any of the festival, they've not been to Ghana.
All right. Okay. Once again, Ken, thank you very much. And then Kweku, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle.
Actually, today Ken will be on stage playing one of the best roles. I think he loves that role itself very much. Do we have some comments and questions that we can address?
Please.
So let's get going with those ones.
Okay, we're going to start with some from last 3 shows. Solomoni Comis is asking, is it not contradictory that ladies want an alpha male that does not run the show? Oh, okay. Is it not contradictory that ladies want an alpha male that does not run the show?
Okay.
Francisca is saying, honesty is key. Women know what they want, and the honesty of men helps us decide whether to go with you or not.
Okay.
Kay says, why do women say they are fine when they are not? How do guys read in between the lines to know what women mean? Obed, which university do we go to study women? And Elijah is asking, most women take advantage of generous men. Is it true?
I think that one goes both ways. Men also take advantage of gentle women. And yes, you are right that women also take advantage of a gentleman.
Ruth is asking, Uncle, how do men want to be loved? How do men want to be loved?
How do men want to be loved? No. How does your man want to be loved? Have that conversation with him. Because, again, it comes to love languages, and we speak very different love languages.
Anthony McCosby, why should I prepare you for sex when it is an automatic privilege that need not be asked for? Wow.
Why should I take my car for maintenance when it is my automatic privilege to drive my car? It's because you need to. It's not that it's a price you are having to pay. You've got the right, but you owe it to yourself to ensure that you're getting the best of it, and therefore do what you need to do. And preparing is key in that respect.
Ifya has an interesting thought here. She says, mind readers in accordance to men having to read women's body language. But at least they should know our body language. I can't be in a relationship with you for more than a year and have not gotten used to your body language. The men can see that a movement on the field is going to be offside, even before the assistant referee lifts his flag up. I think they deliberately fail to interpret our unspoken words.
No, you are wrong. We don't deliberately fail. How long is a soccer match? 90 minutes. No, how much is a soccer match? I mean, that's why when we are dating you in the beginning, it's easier because it's a short period. Sustaining it is not easy for a man, so help him. What stops you from opening your mouth and talking about what's going on?
Francisca says, Uncle, many a times the things of the past have a way of reoccurring. Lecturing your partner is only for warning him to be careful not to also repeat the same or fall victim to it.
Okay.
Just listen and guide yourself with it.
Yeah, fair comment.
The rest are a whole lot of Christmas wishes to the Anchor team and to you, Uncle Ibo.
All right.
And the ladies are dying over your outfit.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that is good. Abiziga hasn't complimented me today on this. So this is one over here for all of you. Congratulations. You've beaten her to it now. Well, I'd like to end today with a little presentation. As you can see, the presentation is coming at the end of it because I wanted you to meet the team and I wanted you to hear them and to understand that the impact of ENCORE goes beyond you, that the ones that are impacted the most are my team members. So this is still the Christmas season, and I'd like us to look at some lessons we can pick from Christmas, the Christmas story. I'll begin with what we can pick from Zachariah and Elizabeth. These are two characters that set off the Christmas story for us in the Gospel according to Luke. It begins with Zachariah and Elizabeth. Remember, Zachariah, the old priest. I put him late 80s in the temple, burning incense, married to his wife for so many years. One problem, though, they don't have children. So let's look at what lessons we can pick from Elizabeth and Zachariah. One, marriage for life is possible. The marriage between Zachariah and Elizabeth was marriage for life. Married early, at the time we meet them, they are old, and yet still together, still in love, still committed to each other, and still praying about the things that matter to them. I know that our generation have come to, we think that marriage doesn't have to be for life, but so marriage till death do us part is possible. And that is what we pick from Elizabeth and Zachariah. 2, childlessness is no reason for destroying a marriage. There are many, many men who use childlessness as an excuse to cheat in their marriage and to destroy the marriage, or to end the marriage and to marry somebody else. Now, it is interesting when you read the record in Luke. It is said that they had no children because Elizabeth could not have children. So it was known. And yet the husband did not ridicule her. The husband did not walk out on her. We need to understand that marriage is complete with or without children. And if you are marrying only for children, you have misunderstood the institution of marriage for our time. Your wife is not a baby-making machine. So when you marry her, make a life with her. And even when the children are not coming, still remember your marriage could become so complete and so full. 3, childlessness should be as much the concern of the man as it is for the woman. Quite often when there are no children in a marriage, the man seems to think that I am the one who is suffering the wrong here. And that it is my wife's fault, and she's done this to me, and I must punish her. No. The man must be as concerned about it as the woman and be supportive of his wife, especially when your family, the man's family, come and they are putting pressure for children on the woman. The man must be able to stand by his wife and say, no, you can't come to our house and make life that difficult for my wife because this is our life and please stay out of it. 4, prayer works. Prayer works. When a couple pray together, they can get answers, except that it may not work according to your timetable, but it works. Zachariah and Elizabeth prayed for a child right from the beginning of their marriage, but it was not until their very old age that Gabriel appeared to Zachariah and said, your prayer has been answered. Your prayer has been answered. Way down the line. So whatever prayer you are praying as a couple, don't stop praying. Don't stop trusting God. 5, a husband must continue to pray for his wife. Zechariah in the temple was praying for his wife, and that's what the angel can say, your prayer has been answered. For the gentleman, how often do you pray for your wife? 6, miracle happens. A miracle happens when a couple stand together no matter what. Zechariah and Elizabeth got their miracle, the miracle of a baby in their old age, only because they stood together. They faced their childlessness together. They faced the challenges that come from being childless together. Miracles happen when a couple stand together no matter what. The mere fact that there are challenges in your relationship, the mere fact that there are challenges is no reason why a couple should walk away from each other or begin to blame each other. Stand together, and God will come through for you. 7, be careful what name you give to your children, because names are important. It is interesting that that miracle baby that was being given to Zechariah and Elizabeth, the angel also gave them a name. And we are told that when it came to the naming of the child, they were expecting a different name until they asked Zechariah, and he wrote, because at that time he couldn't talk, wrote and said, his name is John, which was the name the angel had given. His name is John. Listen, I'm not saying name your children John. What I'm saying is that don't just pick a name from your family and put on your child, because the name on a child has implications. Has implications. So give a name that becomes aspirational. Don't name your child after somebody in your family who has not accomplished anything with his life. Somebody who did not live a good life. Then what you're doing is that you are dooming your child to carry on that legacy. Name your child, give your child the kind of name that if the child grows to be that person, you will still be proud of that child and know, yes, that we give our child a blessing. So be careful what name you give your children. And some of us will have to break that tradition of going back and picking anybody in our family, in our ancestors. Always ask the question, when the name is given, who bore this name? What was his life? What impact did he make in his generation? What impact did he make in the community? And if he didn't make any impact, then your child, if you give that name, will also not make any impact. And once at that, be careful naming your children cross-gender. Be careful about that. In other words, you want to name your next child after your mother. Then the child comes and it's a boy. And you still go ahead and name the child after your mother. When that boy grows up and begins to become, don't blame the child. Now you cause him. You wanted to name the child after your father, your next child after your father. It comes and it's a girl. And you still go ahead and name the child after your father. Well, one day when she wears gloves and beats all of you up in the house, remember that is a man and not a woman. So be careful what name you give to your children. 8, children are not the right of a couple, but a sacred trust. When we have children easily in our marriages, we assume that, yes, we are married, we have intimacy, we must have children. We are gradually losing sight of the fact that children in marriage is a trust. You don't own the children. The children have been given to you for a purpose and for a reason. And you must be careful of that. Because if you do not help them to become what they were meant to be, you would answer for it. Their children, you don't own them. They are guests God has given you, and you would answer for them. So remember, it's a trust. All right, so those are 8 lessons we pick from Zechariah and Elizabeth. Let's go on to Joseph and Mary, the main characters, or two of the main characters in the Bible, because Jesus should definitely be the main character in the Christmas story. What lessons can we pick from Joseph and Mary? One, it is possible to wait till marriage for sex. That was Joseph and Mary. Mary could tell the angel, could make a statement to the angel, which is incredible. How can this be, since I do not know a man? And at that time, she was engaged to Joseph. What she was saying is that, how can this be, since I am not sexually active? So it is possible. It is possible. We learned that from the Christmas story. 2, know what to keep private. Mary kept the visit of Gabriel to herself. Mary kept a lot of the things she heard, especially when the wise men came, everything they said, she kept to herself. Know what to keep to yourself. It isn't everything that you must go out and say. Know what to keep to yourself, even from your partner, because it is liable to be interpreted, misinterpreted. There have been cases where women go home and they share with their men how a colleague of theirs is so much into them. And they think that they are sharing it with their partner so their partner will know that they have no intention of cheating. Then they get alarmed to realize that it is being used against them. Well, you didn't learn the lesson. Certain things keep to yourself. 3, things are not always what they seem in a relationship. And in life, things are not always what they seem. So here's a scenario. Mary is pregnant, but it is not by Joseph, the man she's engaged with. And yet, she has not cheated on him. Do you understand? Mary is pregnant. It is not with her man, and yet she has also not cheated on her man. Things are not always what they seem. And you should prepare your mind for that in life. And so that should lead us to our next lesson. Don't jump to conclusions. You may get it very wrong. Don't jump to conclusions because things are not always what they seem. And 5, don't be too quick to condemn. Don't be too quick to condemn. We learned that from Joseph. If Joseph, as soon as he discovered Mary was pregnant and he knew it wasn't his pregnancy, had gone to town with it or gone on social media, like your generation, imagine what the truth would have done to him when he discovers that, oh my goodness, I have been wrong. And then 6, even if you are the one who is hurt, love dictates that you should be kind and generous with your actions. Joseph has been devastated by Mary's pregnancy. Can you imagine? You've waited for this woman. You adore this woman. Then, on the night of your wedding, when you want to consummate the marriage, you discover that, oh my goodness, the woman is pregnant. And it's not me. It's not by me. Now, I wonder, it will be, I can't think of any man who would take that lying down and take it kindly. I'm sure many men would really feel offended and hurt and devastated. And Joseph was a very normal man. I'm sure he felt all that. And yet, it did not make him ruthless. It did not make him brutal. It did not make him vicious. We need to learn that in a relationship, your partner may do something that disappoints you, that may even seem like betrayal, or that hurts you deeply. The way you react to it is key, and you've got to be careful. If you say you love this person, then the way you deal with the things that come up in the relationship must confirm the fact that you love this person and not make you such a monster towards this person just because you are hurt. And in that, I think one of the guys who came up here said something today, that if you make it about your partner, you'll get it right. If you understand that in a relationship, it's not about you, but about your partner, you'll get it right. So Joseph's thing was, it's not about me. Yes, I feel disappointed, but what about her? What could have driven her to this? And what would be the consequences if I let the audience, if I let the world know what has happened? And he kept it to himself and was looking for how to save the situation. And 7, create room for God in your relationship. If Joseph had no room for God, he would have acted very badly and lost the privilege of being the father of the Son of God. He would have lost that privilege. Create room for God. So before you take any decision, it would be good if you can pray about it and ask God, what would you have me do? What would you have me do? 8, have a life. Have a life in your relationship. Now listen, you read the message again, the Christmas story, and you discover that even though Mary was engaged to Joseph, Mary had a life of her own. Her life was not so much invested, all that totally invested in Joseph. And so when she heard that Elizabeth, her cousin, in her old age had become pregnant, Mary could take off and go to be with Elizabeth and be with her for 3 months before coming back for her own wedding. She had a life of her own. She could decide that I need to do this. I want to do this. This will bring me fulfillment, and go and do it. And not say, oh, but Joseph, can I do it? Joseph did not want me to do it, so I did not do it. No, have a life. Mary had a life and was able to do what she needed to do when she needed to do it. And it wasn't because Joseph wanted it or no. She had a life of her own. She could make that. 9, always make the most of any circumstance that life throws at you as a couple. Let me explain. I don't think that Mary, in her wildest dreams, thought that she would have to deliver her first baby in a manger. I don't think she thought that. And yet, when it came to it, she took it in her stride. So, in your relationship, things may not always work the way you expected. It may not always work the way you hoped, but make the most of the circumstance. And whilst doing that, be together. Don't do the blame game. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you book the room ahead? So is this all the place? No, don't do that. Deal with the situation as it is and roll with it. You never know. And finally, treat children as if each of them has a specific mission in life. No matter how many children God blesses you with, please treat each of them as if they have specific mission. It isn't every child that there is an angelic proclamation, but every child has a mission. And treat your children like that. So, those are the lessons we pick from Christmas for marriages and relationships. I hope they've been useful to you. I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us and for staying with us all these throughout the year. 2019, we'll do better. We'll try and lift this platform even higher. And we'll hope and pray that we'll be of a greater blessing to you. May God keep and sustain you. May He bless your relationship. And if you are waiting on Him for a man or for a woman, may He come through for you and blow your mind with the person He blesses you with. But before He can do it, you yourself will have to be an awesome person so that He can bless you with an awesome person. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year. Stay blessed.
Hello. They call me